You don't have the amount of scholarships to do it with, because you got to have guys at all positions. You can't take 5 guys in one position, for example. You know, you got to have depth at all those positions. So sometimes you've got to pass up some good football players, in other words, that you would like to have, but you just can't afford the luxury to have.
With the 22 limitation, is there any one area that you wish you could have addressed?
Yeah, I think, I'd love to get maybe more offensive linemen, because what's happened is, we had Hunter Howden, who was declared medically unable to play anymore, a concussion. He played as a freshman a year ago. We redshirted him this year, hoping he'd come back. The doctor said no. It looks like Ian Wiggins, concussion last year. It appears that he might not make it. And then I dismissed one of the players from our team. So that's 3 linemen right there. And then we lost one right at the end. We wanted to get 3 to 4. We ended up with 3, and then one at the end decided not to come. So we ended up with 2. So that's the area right now. We don't have a lot of depth or as much depth as I'd like.
Just one decommit from the weekend decipher, is that correct?
Yes, that's true.
Case, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good, yeah, from someone who committed. See, I'm a big stickler for, I tell the kids, do not commit unless you're really coming. Because to me, and I liken it to getting engaged, once you get engaged, you don't keep dating. And that's what a commitment means to me. I'm a man of my word. I want those players to be a man of their word. And I tell them, don't commit unless you're ready to come. You want to come here. And then if you commit, you can't take any more trips or talk to any more people, because if you do, that's where you're going. And in the time I've been here, I've lost, actually one player that committed and then went somewhere else, and I told him, you need to go. But we've lost 2 guys in the past that have gone to other schools.
When you look at the 2 quarterbacks they have currently different styles.
Well, yeah, they do have different styles, and I think Bluen, the young man out of Baton Rouge, is a guy that was in our camp, and we got to see him run. We got to see him throw. I think he's got an extremely strong arm. I think he's got a very quick arm. I think he's very accurate, but he was in an offense that didn't throw the ball a lot, so it didn't have to showcase his ability as a passer. I think he can throw the ball well. I know he's got great mobility, because he can run with a football. And he had a very successful year, even though he didn't throw as many passes as he would have liked, or as he will once he gets here. And then San Giacomo, the young man out of the New York area, he's a guy kind of like a Griffin. He's a pro-style quarterback. He's not going to run a lot of options and beat you with his legs, but he's got a very good arm. He's a very smart kid.
Why the 2 different styles? Why do you
Well, we were looking for the best guys available that fit our needs, and we just felt that those were 2 of the guys that we liked that committed to us early. There were other quarterbacks, but they were the ones we had to tell other quarterbacks no, for example, because they were what we were looking for. Yeah.
And is Leon big into the season as you have it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's a 5'11" kid, but there's guys that are playing that aren't much bigger than that in pro football. Okay, so the thing he's got is he's got a lot of athletic ability. He's got a really good arm, and he's a bright young man, and I think he'll be a good leader for us.
You talk about Shelly Coach. Here's a guy who got early commitment from. He looks to me like he's lost weight, and he's got tremendous upside.
Yeah, he's a little bigger than you think. When they come in here, we get to weigh him and measure him and all those things. And I'll tell you what, he's a strong kid, and he's big enough. He's definitely fast enough. He can run with power. He's got good speed. He can catch the ball. We're very excited about him. He gave us a little scare right at the end, because I guess Minnesota was pounding on him pretty hard, but all you got to do is look at the weather report, and you can't even fly an airplane in there right now, so he made a good decision.
Did you or your staff ever get a sense that the contract extension might have helped you close some deals?
It probably did, yeah, and that's always a question, how long are you going to be here, and what's going on, those kind of things. I got to answer that question all the time. And it's obviously, when you get a long-term contract, it's a lot easier to sell guys. But one of the things I try to do, and I've done it forever, is I tell kids, don't come to school because of me. Because I might walk across the street and get hit by a car, Come to school because this is the place you want to be, and this is where you want to get your education and play football. So I try to downplay that a little bit to kind of protect that.
Would you go out and say this, since your time at Tulane, that this is as talented a class as you had? Are you ready to say that?
Well, I think
I mean, just from initial.
I think the last, including this class, the last 3 classes have been very good. You know, when you look at it, 2 years ago we played 18 freshmen. Last year we played 20 freshmen. You know, we only have 12 seniors on our football team next year. And I think we've redshirted something like 36 players over the last 3 years. So we've really kind of built the thing up to get to the point where we're at. And whether this is the best class, I don't know. I would hope that 18 to 20 freshmen don't play. You know, I mean, we've gotten to the point where, you know, we've played enough guys that we're no longer a young, inexperienced, weak football team. You know, we're a bigger, stronger, more athletic, experienced football team. So for a freshman to come in and play, he's probably going to have to be pretty special.
Coach, you mentioned all the success you guys had recruiting in state this year. Can you talk a little about how you managed to do that and what the advantages are in getting in-state players?
Well, the big thing is there's about 300 schools in the state, and each one of our coaches go around. They have an area of the state, and so they recruit every school. They go through every school, and they talk to the coaches, and we get the names of people, and then we go and see the principals and the guidance counselors, and we get grades and those kind of things. So we watch them in May, we watch them in spring practice. And so we get a good evaluation of who the best players are. And one of the things that's helped us by being here now for a while, it didn't work the first couple of years, is like these last 2.5 weeks, we pretty much had our group done. What we did is we started going back, we're already junior and sophomore recruiting. So we're ahead of the game already for next year. We already have a list on our board of probably close to 100 players in the state of Louisiana that will be seniors next year that we're already on.